In the first scene, we see a mother trying to make her twin sons sleep by singing a song. And the father is recording it on the phone. That was in the past. After that, the scene changes and comes to the present. The father takes the twin sons, Elias and Lucas, to an isolated farmhouse where their mother lives. We get to know that the two boys haven't seen their mother for years after the divorce of their parents. They were living with their father. Now they are excited to meet their mom. So they go inside and call their mother. But no one responds. So they go to their mother's bedroom. Then they see their mom in the room wearing a bandage all over her head. They are surprised. Then mom explains that she has gone through plastic surgery. So she is fine and they don't need to worry about it. We get to know that she is a former actress. After that, mom comes to Elias and Lucas. She gives a gift to Elias. After that, she explains the rules of the house until she recovers. Like no running and shouting in the house, no friends allowed to come to the house, keeping the window blinds closed all the time since the sunlight is not good for her skin, and Elias and Lucas are not allowed to go to her bedroom, office, and the barn. Then Elias gives her a drawing. In the night, mom takes them to their bed to sleep. Then Elias asks if she can sing the song like the old days. Mom says they are grown up now and they can sleep without songs. After that, she leaves and closes the door. Elias gets sad and tells Lucas that their mom has changed and maybe she doesn't like them anymore. Then Lucas says no, she's their mom and she has to love them. After that, Lucas sings the song to Elias. On the outside, mom hears their conversation and she gets sad as well. The next day, Elias and Lucas go to the barn. They go inside and Elias goes upstairs. There he sees some of their old comics and toys. Then his eyes go to the wall where he sees some dry stains of blood. Then they come outside. Their mom comes to the barn and finds them. She yells angrily at Elias because she told him not to go to the barn. She tells Elias that he needs to stay inside the house from now on. Elias gets upset. But Lucas gives Elias sympathy by saying Elias hasn't done anything wrong. On the night, Elias sees a dream in the sleep where he sees the barn. His mom is sitting in the barn hugging someone. Her clothes are covered with blood. Then he hears a gunshot and sees the same wall with bloodstains. Then Elias wakes up and finds out that he peed in the bed. He goes to the bathroom. On his way, he hears mom talking to someone on the phone. He hears her saying that Elias is never apart from Lucas. She says she cannot pretend like that and she must end it. She says she wants Elias to go from there. Elias hears everything from upstairs. But mom suspects Elias is on the up there and she comes to check in his bedroom. Elias also runs to the bedroom, quickly jumps on the bed, and pretends to sleep. Mom comes near to him and sees he's sleeping. She pulls his blanket to his neck. Then she goes out of the room. The next morning, Elias tells everything to Lucas. They start to suspect their mother. They make a plan to secretly listen to their mom's conversation. So they put a walkie-talkie under her bed when she is watching TV. Elias sees that their mom also puts their photo frame down on the table. Then they hear the footsteps of their mom coming into the room. They quickly hide in under the window curtain. Elias sees the drawing in the dustbin that he gave to his mom. Then mom changes her bandage but her face doesn't reveal and Elias doesn't see her face as well. Mom sees the drawing out of the dustbin. She tears the paper into pieces and throws it into the dustbin again. After that, Elias tells Lucas that something is wrong with her mom. He says she didn't used to smoke and she hated smoking but now she smokes. Then Lucas says she isn't their mom, she's someone else pretending to be their mom. That's why she didn't sing their bedtime song. Because she doesn't know the song. Then Elias says no, that's still their mom. Then Lucas tries to prove that by recording her on the phone and then matching her eye color to her earlier photo. Lucas says in the photo, her eye color was green but now she has blue eyes. Lucas tells Elias to call their dad. But Elias says he tried but he's not answered. Then mom knocks on the door and says open the door. She asks Elias to forgive her because of her rude behavior towards him. In the night, Elias is watching the phone and mom comes to their room. She takes the phone from Elias by saying he has called his dad and she doesn't want any trouble. She comes downstairs and breaks the phone. She gets angry and screams at them. After that, Elias goes to mom's room to check. He sees mom taking a bath in the bathtub and taking a nap. Then Elias goes near her and tries to remove the mask to see if she's his mom. But mom wakes up. Elias runs to his room and locks the door. Mom gets angry and she breaks the door lock and enters the room. She yells at Elias by saying she's done everything to be good to him and he treats his mom like that. Elias says she's not his mom. He says that his mom used to love them but she hates them. Elias asks what she's done to their mom and where she is. Mom slaps in his face and takes him forcefully out of the room. Lucas tries to help Elias but he fails. Mom takes Elias to the bathtub and showers his face. She tells him to say sorry and wants him to say that she's his mother. Elias doesn't bear the cold water and says she's his mother. Elias had a nightmare that night. He sees his mom remove her skin from all her body and turn into a black evil. Then Lucas wakes Elias up and says they need to leave because their mom will kill them otherwise. They leave the house in the night. It's raining heavily outside. They go to an old nearby house and knock on the door for help. Then they see no one is inside. They enter the house through the pet door. The power is out and the phone is dead. They sleep inside a tent. Elias asks Lucas if their real mom is okay. Lucas says she was brave so she is fine wherever she is. After that, they go to sleep. In the middle of the night, Elias wakes up but doesn't see Lucas beside him. He goes to see Lucas. Then he sees a handprint on the door. He goes to near the door to check. Then suddenly their mom turning into that black evil breaks the door with her head and comes to him. Then Elias wakes up frightened. He had a nightmare. In front of him, he sees 2 police officers and they take them to their home again. Mom called the cops about their missing. Elias and Lucas see that their mom is waiting for them. She doesn't wear the bandage and they are surprised to see her mom's face. They realize that she really is their mom. Elias and Lucas go upstairs. Lucas tells Elias that anyone can change their face by surgery. Then they hear the conversation between the cops and their mom. The police ask Mom about the cut of Elias on his lips. Then Mom lies to the police saying he might slip while playing near the pool. The police believe her words and leave the house. After the police have gone, Mom comes to their room and says that she has to take her bandage off 3 days early because of them. She says she's not going anywhere and they can hate her if they want. But they will love her one day. Saying that she goes out of the room. The next morning, Mom finds herself tying her hands and legs to the bed. Elias did that to her. Elias asks her where is his mom. Then Mom says she is his mom. Then Elias shows her old photo saying his mom's eyes were green. Mom says she used to wear green contact lenses when she was photo shooting. She says that her contact lenses are in her purse downstairs. Then Elias takes a bucket of ice water and throws it to her. On the other hand, Lucas tells Elias that they should leave before dark. But Elias says he will anyhow find his mom. Elias finds the torn drawing that he made and shows it to her. Elias asks why she tore his drawing. Because his mom didn't throw away any of his drawings before. Mom cries and says that was a mistake. She was upset. She also admits that she's changed but she can start over. She promises that and begs Elias to untie her. But Lucas keeps insisting Elias to leave there. Because she's going to keep lying and making up excuses. Elias tries to find her purse to see her lenses so that he can make sure she's not lying. Then Lucas finds her purse and says to Elias that the lenses are not in the purse. After that, they prepare to leave. But Elias says they can't leave her there like that. But Lucas says if they untie her, she'll try to stop them. But Elias goes to check on her again. Mom asks Elias if Lucas told him to do all that. She tells Elias that he's a smart boy. He can make the right decision himself and he doesn't always have to listen to his brother. Then Elias grabs a pair of scissors and is about to untie her. But then Lucas comes there. She tells Elias not to listen to Lucas and untie her because she's his mom. But Lucas tells Elias to put a tape on her mouth to keep her from lying again. Elias does exactly what Lucas has said. Lucas says he's done the right thing. Lucas says no one can separate them and they will stay strong together forever. After that, they try to leave. But then the 2 police officers come to the house. Elias asks Lucas what to do. Lucas tells Elias to lie to them and get rid of them. The officer says to Elias that she has to talk to his mom. But Elias lies to the officer that she's not at home. The officer has little doubt about the answer of Elias. On the other hand, Mom hears the police coming to the house. So she screams but due to the tape on her mouth, her voice isn't heard by the officers. The officer calls her mother but Mom's phone is on the table and the call goes to a voicemail. The officer says to Elias if he has something to tell, he can tell. They will help him out. But Elias says everything is fine. After that, the police leave the house. Then Mom tries to fall a lamp beside her bed and she does it after some struggle. The officer hears the noise of the loud clang of the lamp slamming on the floor. The officer stops for a moment and then leaves because they are in a hurry for another case. Mom gets upset hearing the police car leave. Then Elias and Lucas call an Uber to leave. But Elias feels guilty and sorry for his mom and he wants to make sure. So Elias lies to Lucas that he forgot his toothbrush. He will go to the house and take it. Elias goes to the house and he directly goes to see Mom's lenses in the purse. Elias sees the green lenses on the case. Then Lucas comes there as well. Elias says that Lucas lied to him and why he hates her, that's their mom. Lucas says that Elias needs to trust him. But Elias goes upstairs to untie his mom. Lucas stops Elias to do that. Elias pushes him and runs. Lucas chases but Elias locks the door. Lucas knocks on the door from outside. Elias unties his mom. Soon after Lucas disappears from behind the door. Elias hugs Mom and says sorry. He says he didn't want to hurt her but Lucas says she's not his mom and Lucas wants him to do that. He says Lucas is a liar and he manipulates Elias all the time. Elias says if his mom talks to Lucas and makes everything back to normal again. Then Mom says she wants Elias to take him somewhere. Mom takes Elias to the barn. Elias gets scared going to the barn. But his mom says to him that's okay, she's with him. Elias tells Mom that he doesn't find Lucas. Then they go into the barn. Elias and Mom go upstairs. Mom takes Elias to the wall that has the bloodstains and a bullet hole. Mom asks Elias to see that. But Elias gets scared and doesn't want to see. Mom asks him what the stains are. Elias says that's paint. But his mom says that's not paint and she wants him to think hard. He says he doesn't know. But his mom insists by saying he knows what that is. She tells Elias to stop pretending talking and playing with Lucas all the time. We get to know that Lucas is already dead. Elias and Lucas were playing in the childhood. Elias accidentally shoots Lucas with a loaded gun. So Elias feels guilty and he sets in his mind that Lucas is not dead and makes him an imaginary brother. So Lucas has been an imagination of Elias the entire time. After Lucas's death, Mom also got depressed and therefore she got divorced. After that, her relationship with Elias gets weaker. Mom tells Elias that it was an accident, it wasn't his fault. Mom wants Elias to face the truth and start his life over. Elias still doesn't want to accept the truth. He cries and gets anxious. Mom tries to console him but in a confused rage, Elias accidentally pushes his mom from upstairs. Mom gets unconscious. The lantern she's holding breaks and the barn catches fire. Elias comes downstairs and tries to wake her up. But she doesn't respond. On the other hand, the fire gets bigger. Elias gets afraid and he runs out of the barn. He gets so sad because he couldn't save her mother. He tearfully watches the barn falling on fire to the ground. Then suddenly someone touches Elias from behind. Elias turns back and sees that his mom and Lucas are smiling at him. Mom tells him that he hasn't done anything wrong. She says he is very strong. Then she hugs Elias and Elias also embraces her crying. That implies that Elias also starts to imagine his mom because he doesn't want to accept the fact that his mom has died burning in the barn. From now on, Elias will be seeing Lucas and his mom in his imagination as well. The movie ends here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Watch this video next about a young woman who books an Airbnb house to stay for a night. But what she discovers after is horrifying. I will see you there. Bye.